We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I will ask that you stand for a moment of silence to honor the life of Carson Lasher, who recently passed away after a brave battle with cancer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. The first item on the agenda will be the approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any additions to the agenda?
Everyone signed in that wishes to speak?
Yes, I believe so.
If so, I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Got a motion? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We'll give it to Danny.
Okay.
Got a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Agenda stands approved. All right. Next item on the agenda is the Treasurer Department request.
All right, let's see here. I'm here to request up to 1 week of additional help for the treasurer's office. As you all know, the treasurer's probably going to be out for just a little bit. We have a project that needs to be finished, and just want to make sure that we've got a little bit of extra help in case we need it.
And we did approve previously, I think, $1,500
Okay.
for this clerical work. So I don't see a problem with it.
Okay.
Is that
Right now, there is $1,018 in there yet.
okay? So
Okay.
we have that, and hopefully that will get us by. If not, we can,
Okay.
you can come back to us on that.
Okay.
But I guess I will entertain a motion to approve the request.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
A second.
Got a motion by Danny, a second by Lynn. Any discussion?
I will abstain.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries 6-0 with one abstention.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
All right. We will now open the public hearing on the 2022 proposed budgets, and we will go in order of
These are your agencies.
the line item in the commissioner's budget.
Page 23.
Alrighty, the first agency we have is SERS.
Hello.
Hi.
I did submit packets. I hope you guys have those. I did bring some additional information if anybody would like me to hand those out.
We've got all your letters and
Yeah, it's
stuff
in there
attached.
somewhere. Yeah, there
Okay.
it is. Yep, we
Okay.
got it.
Well, I'm just going to go over some highlights from that packet, so I just wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to look through it. So our organization kind of went through one of the biggest changes an organization can go through in the past year, as our former CEO of 18 years resigned, and as of our fiscal year start of July 1st, I stepped into that role. So as a Perry County resident, I'm feeling pretty blessed to have the opportunity to serve in this capacity for our community. Our former CEO, she was a trailblazer for our organization, and I really hope to not only continue the mission and vision set forth by my predecessors, but to make some progressive changes too. So first of all, thank you again. I thank you guys every year, but again for your continued support of our organization. What you're able to offer us truly subsidizes the reimbursement that we receive for our mission-based services. We again are asking for your continued support and consideration to be included in your annual budget for the amount of $45,000. I'm sure our organization is like many others in that we did continue to struggle in 2020 due to the pandemic. We had a loss of revenue that totaled $399,000. In addition, we incurred additional expenses, primarily in payroll, which included retention pay. We did pay all of our direct support professionals retention pay even when they weren't able to work because nobody wanted services. So in addition to that, we paid hazard pay, weekend incentive, overtime, and COVID FMLA. On top of the lost revenue, we added the necessary PPE expenses of $16,000. But because we were resourceful, we were able to recover approximately $185,000 of that by taking advantage of grant opportunities. And we did apply for the provider relief funds, and we received $98,000. We're not sure if we're going to have to pay that back yet. So overall, as far as service statistics are concerned, we have stayed relatively consistent. While we did lose a few customers due to COVID and lack of staffing, we also made some gains. Those are the things that I wanted to talk about. So our turnover rate remained fairly low. It's 25 to 30%, which industry-wide, that is really low. It kind of sounds high, but it's actually pretty low. Industry average is about 45. We went through an organizational restructure to add an extra layer of administrative support to better focus on quality of service. Our services seem to be growing rapidly, but it's been a long time since we sat back and looked at the support that we offered the people, the direct support workers. We do continue to be a viable part of the local economy. We still own and operate facilities at Tell City and Troy, and we continue to share and rent space with other local service entities in the community, such as Perry Child Care and the WIC office. We do donate space to the Southwest Indiana Child Advocacy Center Coalition and Crisis Connection at our Troy facility. We still employ between 40 and 50 Perry County residents in a given year. We paid over $717,000 in payroll to Perry County residents, which increased over last year by 4%. Our expenses to local vendors were actually decreased by 10%. And I do apologize, when I went back to look at my data, somehow I put we increased by 17% in the information I sent you guys. I'm not sure if I'm going to blame that on my math skills or if I just compared two different years. Either one are possible. So when I looked at it again, I did question it, and it was actually a 10% decrease. And that was primarily due to some of the expenses, the non-essential expenses that we cut out, such as lawn mowing and housekeeping, stuff like that. So in the upcoming year, we do intend on expanding our day service, our day program hours at our Tell City location. That has been a goal for the past couple of years, but COVID put a halt to that last year, and we would like to add a couple of days this year because there is a community need there. And we are working on securing funding for the our Troy location. The restrooms there are extremely dated and in need of numerous repairs. And as I mentioned previously, we do donate space to SWICAC and Crisis Connection. They utilize the restrooms, they utilize the facility there, and then in addition to victims, advocates, and other members in the community who use those supports. So I know I shared our 2020 annual report with you guys, and I hope that you had a chance to look at that and you do see that while we did struggle like a lot of organizations did, we did take the opportunity to celebrate the heroes among our staff and the community. So if you guys have any questions about the information, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions? Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is anyone here from Live Springs? Okay. Next we have William Tell Senior Citizens. Brenda?
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, I'm Brenda Powers. I'm president of the William Tell Senior Citizens. And we call the building that we gather at the William Tell Center, or the Center for short. And I want to thank you for your past support this year for the first time. That was a big help, so we appreciate that. And to give you a little history of what we do, we have Saturday night gatherings with a live band, and we include food, snacks, drinks, all for just $5. We want to keep the price low so that people on fixed incomes feel like they can attend without affecting their budget. We have card games and line dancing every week, and once a month we have a noon meal with bingo, and that's tomorrow. Our goal, what we're wanting to do, is to open more during the day with other activities like puzzle table, exercise equipment, pool table, TV for entertainment, maybe 2 or 3 times a month have a movie night. But we need more help to do this. There's not many things in this community for older people to do, and we want, you know, they need to stay active and healthy and keep their minds occupied, and, you know, and it overall, it's good for them and keeps them, you know, engaged in activities. So we have a large population of seniors in this community, and what I say, seniors, it's 50 and up, which most of us in this room qualify. So, except maybe Luke, but but you know, 50 and up, and that's what we're, you know, we're gearing toward helping. So, but we'll let you in though anyway. So, but anyway, but a lot of our older citizens live alone, and you know, that's not good. You do better when you get out amongst people, and if you sit at home by yourself, you just vegetate. You're not active. That's not good for your health. So we want a place for people to go and have things to do and to socialize, see other people, and just have activities. Keep them active so they can continue to, you know, function without, you know, their health declining. So, and people also do better, you know, when they're around other people, and even like watching TV. You know, it's no fun by yourself. You know, you watch a program, then you can talk to other people and laugh a little more, and you eat better when you're around other people. When you're by yourself, you just don't eat that well. So most communities around in other counties and stuff have senior centers, and we just don't have one here. And I don't know why, but maybe no one's pursued it or asked or whatever, but most counties have one that's open from 8 to 4 during the day for people to go in and out and do things. We don't have that. There used to be kind of a open building up at Compton from 8 to 4, but it closed 2 years ago. So, but they didn't really do a lot of things like we do. So I think, you know, with our large population of seniors in this community, we need something more open during the day, and that's what we want to do. But it's going to take money. It's going to take, you know, somebody to do it. And I volunteer a lot of hours already, but you may have heard that we're going to get a new center after this year, next year. We're moving into the German American Bank. As soon as the bank moves out, they're going to remodel it and put us in there. So we're hoping to have a little more room to do some things. And we really appreciate the city, you know, helping us out. They do a lot for us, and they pay our utilities and furnish the building. If it wasn't for that, we couldn't function at all. So, and I've checked around several other counties to see how they fund their centers, and most of the time it's the county that supplements them. And there's a few that the cities do. It's kind of varies back and forth whether the county does it or the city does it, but majority of them, it's the county funds it. And if you want to see a good center, and I'm in envy of it, is over in Hallsville. They got a wonderful center. I mean, if you want to see how really a senior center is, go over to Hallsville and look at theirs. It's really nice. I wish we had something like that. And it's open 8 to 4 every day. So, and of course, any money we get, it all goes toward the center. Nobody gets paid to do anything. Like I said, I volunteer a lot of hours, and I'm there a lot, and do a lot of things, but I just don't know if I can keep volunteering more. So, but it's a nonprofit organization. We're not making any money. We have bands 47 times a year at $300 a week, and time we buy the food and snacks and paper products and other things we use, it takes about $350 a week to run it. And we're not taking that in the door, you know. So, and we don't want to raise the price where it's out of reach for these seniors, because then they just won't come. They'll say, well, you know, it's kind of a difference between their medicine or going for their entertainment. That's kind of why I like to start having a movie night, because if you go to the movies, you know, it's not cheap, $10, $15 for one person to go. So if we could get us a nice big TV and 2 or 3 times a month have a movie night where they can come in and get with other people and have fun. So I think that pretty well covers it.
Okay.
I want to thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Does anyone have any questions? I don't think we do, so thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Is anyone here from the Animal Welfare and Education? Nope. Next, we will have Ride Solution.
I should have received these back in June, but just in case you need more copies. I'm Beth Browning, Transportation Coordinator for Ride Solution, and we'd like to thank you for your past support and for raising the funding back up to $6,000 last year. And we'd like again to ask for that continued support. We are deemed essential services. We kept running all through COVID last year, and of course we're dealing with it again this year, but everybody still needs to get to the work, to dialysis and medical appointments, shopping. So not much has changed for our services through all this. Does anyone have any questions about our services?
Okay.
All right, well,
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Lisa Gelhausen with NF 15.
It's like.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
I gotcha. I'm a little lost there.
And just FYI, I will be not participating in this discussion
Why?
because I am employed by Indiana 15 Regional Planning Commission,
Okay.
so.
Well, I am before the council to thank you for your participation through many years. Indiana 15 was established in 1973, and in 2023 we'll be 50 years old, so we're excited to reach that milestone soon. But Perry County, for 2022, we are not asking for any additional funds. We are asking for the same in the amount of $10,829.28. And how that is calculated is we take the 2010 population times 56 cents per person, and your 2010 population was 19,338. So if you take that times 56, that's how we come up to the 10,829.28.
It wouldn't be 10,000.
Uh,
Oh, yeah, it would be.
Yeah, about 50% of, yeah, so it's right there.
In my head.
Yeah, yeah. Now that's based on the 2010 census. So we just received the 2020 census, and Perry County's population went down, a decrease of 168 people. So our board met, and for 2023, 24, and 25, just to let you know, they voted to keep it at 56 cents per capita. So while for 2022 we keep it the same, for 2023, 4, and 5, that would go to 10,735.20. So a small decrease of right at $100. But just to kind of let you know some of the things we're working on, if you go to the green sheets in your packet and the last page, it shows you the return on investment. And for 2020, I'll take you to the 2020 numbers. As before, I mentioned you guys contributed $10,829 to Indiana 15, and the resources brought back to Perry County were $566,783. So it's a good return on your investment, and you'll see the differences in the different counties. But overall, we received from the 6 counties that we served $70,000, and we brought back over $7 million. So. And it really, it goes with projects, you know, it ebbs and flows as projects come to the forefront. Now, so if you go to your yellow sheets and the very second to last page, it tells you how we calculated that 2020 amount. And you'll see that Cannleton received a COPS grant of $192,000, and the commission, Indiana 15, actually, the one above it, received $400,000 from EDA, and then if you divide that by the 6 counties, it came out to $66,000. Probably the biggest one that year then is the Tell City Pool improvements. They received a Land and Water Conservation Fund grant of $250,000, and actually they're starting construction this week. So the pool house and the splash pad, you'll see some construction there on that project. And then what I want to take you to is the last page in your yellow packet, and that's what are we looking at for 2021. This year's not over yet, but you guys are going to, looks like you're going to have a really good year of over $5 million brought back. And what that is the Economic Development Administration awarded the Perry County Port Authority over like $4.5 million to fix the bridge over the Anderson River, and then the bridge at milepost 11.7. So that was a good award. And then another big award for that year, we just found out a week ago that the city of Cannleton is going to receive a $500,000 grant to remove the environmental conditions at the former Can Clay property. So right now we know for 2021 you guys are going to be over the $5 million mark, but we do have some projects that we've submitted that we may not hear until the end of the year. And 2 of the big ones are if you look at the projects in development for 2022, we have submitted a grant to the Federal Highway for $8.8 million to make improvements on Hoosier Southern Rail, 13 miles of that rail, to go from a 75-pound up to 115-pound to carry the heavier weights on the track. And that one's pending. We haven't heard a yay or a nay, but it's been submitted. And then USDA also had a program called RISE, and it was for the Rural Innovation Stronger Economy Innovation Center, and that's the innovation center in Tell City there on Gutenberg and 9th Street in the former manufacturing building there. So that one's been submitted, and we're asking for $2 million there to improve the interior of that building for our innovation center. So those are pending. And then if we keep going down, like the Riverview Industrial Park, we're looking at trying to find resources to work with the county to do the south pad for future development. And then Till City has some utility improvement needs. Hagedorn Park, even though we're doing the pool, they'd like to do a phase 2 with the ball fields and some other improvements. And then we heard from on the Tell City Senior Center. I don't know if she's still here. Oh, the mayor has asked can we look into some help to try to maybe get some rehabilitation money to help them grow into the former bank building. Now, you'll see some historic preservation projects on there, but we also found out that the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs is going to not allow historic preservation projects to come through under that public facilities program. So the Rome, the Cannleton Gym, and the Perry County Museum, we don't right now have an avenue to push those projects forward because they've removed that from that program. So, yeah, that's... And then we've been asked to update the Perry County zoning map. And so we're going to be looking into, the last time it was updated was 2005, so we've got to pull the zoning ordinances from '05 to current and see which ones may have changed, a particular zoning district and read those legal descriptions. So we have not yet pulled those, and we have not given the county a cost to provide that. But first we want to pull the ordinances and see what that might look like. But those are some things that Indiana 15 is working on behalf of Perry County. And then I have one more thing to talk about, and that's the United States Department of Commerce Economic Development Administration is rolled out a program called Build Back Better. And they're looking for applications on October 19th for a phase 1, and then if we are successful, we would look into going into phase 2. But phase 1 is they're going to award nationwide 50 to 60 regions. And the particular region we're looking at is 20 plus counties. Even though Indiana 15 is 6 counties, we're looking at working with the regional planning to our north, and the regional planning to our northwest, and the regional planning to our south. So we'll have 4 regional planning commissions we're looking at working together, and it's all because of the distress in our region from coal and the downturn in the coal and energy sector. So this application would provide approximately $500,000 to finalize a plan. And what we're looking at is trying to launch a digital innovation cluster. Like a cluster is a concentration of related industries. Like you guys are recognized as an automotive cluster. And what we want to do is launch a digital innovation and production supercluster that takes in advanced manufacturing and energy and defense and agricultural and biomedical. But the top one is digital innovation, and how do we bring digital innovation to all of those clusters. So we are looking to apply again by October 19th for the $500,000. If we're successful in being chosen, they're going to pare that 50 to 60 regions down to 20 to 30 regions nationwide, so about half. And then we can implement the plan, but they only want us to come up with 3 to 8 projects out of that 20 county area that are significant to that 20 county region. And they're going to make available anywhere from $25 to $100 million for the implementation. Yeah. So anyway, but there is a 20% match. So you take, 20% match on that much money is a lot of money. So it's all about how do we continue to improve our economy, improve our talent, improve our workforce, stay economically viable, and so those are some things we're looking at, and we are working to as you know, the American Rescue Plan money is, a bunch of new programs, so we're following those and keeping on top of those. But we've always got Perry County in the top of our head, and how can we, what can we do to help? So, any questions?
What was that called?
Build Back Better.
Back better.
Build Back Better. 3 Bs. BBB. Yeah. Okay.
That's a pretty good return on money.
Yeah, that's what we try to, that's the part we try to bring back to you to show you what, the staff works hard, very hard. So, thank you. Thanks for being on the board, David. I should mention that. Your time to the board meeting, that's wonderful.
Alrighty. Next, we have the 4-H Fairgrounds Committee.
25. For the top.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, boy. My name's Chris Temple. I'm here on behalf of Perry County Fairgrounds Committee. As a committee, it is our mission to provide, maintain, and improve safe, accessible facility for use by 4-H and all other extension services, as well for use for other community organizations. As a 10-year 4-H member, I was part of 6 million other youth across America who had the opportunity to learn leadership, citizenship, life skills, and while having fun. I was able to meet many new people, make many new friends, and develop skills, become a leader, and help shape my community. As great as my 4-H experience was to me and many others alike, none of this would be possible without a safe facility to promote 4-H and development of the youth. Our facility is home to not only the 4-H fair, but many other 4-H and extension related events hosted to enrich the lives of the community. We have youth activities, health and human science workshops, agricultural, natural resource events, and then 4-H clubs, 4-H council, and 4-H committee meetings meet at the facility. To continue to host the great organization and extension events comes with a price, as all 4-H and extension events at our facility are at no cost to them. We provide our facility at no cost to the 4-H to ensure all the great young community members have access to safe and friendly learning environment. We also provide our facility at no cost to other great organizations and events in our community, such as United Way, Special Olympics, various community fundraising events, FFA events. We are a polling site for the county. We are a backup larger facility for jury trials. We have spay and neuter clinic coming up next month. We help support Farm to Table, and the Perry County Cattlemen's Association used our facility. Our facility is also utilized for various gatherings by individuals, including graduation parties, wedding receptions, class reunions, family reunions, to name a few. To continue to help grow the leaders of tomorrow, and possibly that may one day fill the seat you're sitting in right now, we must continue to maintain and improve our facility. Over the last year, we have been restricted on our fundraising activities, such as canceling the fair of 2020, which hit hard. We have managed to finish a multi-year swine barn remodel project and install new toilets in all the facilities. These tasks were feasible and part of your support to our organization. While the tasks I mentioned were greatly needed, there are still several more tasks that must be addressed to keep our facility thriving. Some of the needed tasks include painting of roofs, improving outdoor electrical systems of the exterior buildings, new speaker systems in the main event area and livestock barns, also updating interior and exterior lighting to LEDs to be more economical and environmental friendly. To continue to have a safe and friendly facility, it costs approximately $50,000 a year to maintain the facility and host the 4-H fair every year. To offset this cost, we rely on money raised from hosting entertainment events, grant opportunities, sponsorships from area individuals and businesses, and rental of a facility during non-4-H events. And our greatest asset is the county funding. As a great thanks to our continued support over the past years, we again respectively request a funding of $10,000 to achieve our mission of providing a safe, accessible facility for the 4-H youth and local extension. The Perry County Fairgrounds is a great asset to the community, and without your continued support, we will not be able to continue and maintain and improve a facility utilized by so many in our community. Thank you for your time, consideration, and continued support of the Perry County Fairgrounds. Thank you.
Anyone have any questions? No? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have the 4-H Council.
I'm Kathy Bursty, the 4-H Youth Educator and County Extension Director, and I'm representing the 4-H Council tonight. But first, I would like for two of our 4-H ambassadors, Cecilia Monday and Ankita Kashyap, they are going to tell you a little bit from their perspective, from the youth perspective. There's nothing more effective than actually hearing from our 4-Hers. So, Cecilia?
Teaches its members through their projects, whether electricity, wildlife, forestry, or sewing. But it goes far beyond teaching about circuits, how to sew, or about plants and animals. The information 4-Hers learn through their projects and through other 4-H activities such as club meetings and community service teach us the skills we need for our future, whatever future we choose to pursue. The most obvious part of 4-H to the general public is the 4-H fair, but the projects displayed there are a small portion of the 4-H year. Through club meetings, working on projects, and community service, 4-Hers learn important life skills like time management, leadership, teamwork, taking initiative, research, presentation, and communication. 4-H teaches time management to its members by giving them a selection of things that they can do and letting them pick up as many or as few as they think they can handle. Between over 50 projects, club meetings, and community service, there are many opportunities for 4-Hers to get involved in the program. The problem for 4-Hers is not how to get involved, but where to draw the line to avoid taking it more than they have time for. Through trial and error, we learn how much we can do and how much we have to do throughout the year to get everything done and done well. And through this, we learn to manage our time. Leadership, teamwork, and taking the initiative are taught by 4-H through club meetings and community service opportunities. As 4-Hers go from being some of the youngest members of the club to some of the oldest, they watch others lead and take initiative, and from them gain the courage to take the initiative and lead themselves. The whole club works as a team, and again, the younger members learn how to be part of it from the older members. It is through its projects that 4-H teaches research, presentation, and communication. By researching and making their own projects, 4-Hers learn hands-on how to research well, communicate what they have learned, and make it presentable and entertaining. And through the judges' comments and looking at other 4-Hers projects, they learn how they can make their projects better next year and improve each and every year. Thus, 4-H teaches us members many skills that will not only take us through our 4-H years, but also serve us throughout the rest of our lives.
Hi, I'm Ankita Kashyap, and today I will explain how 4-H has made a big impact on my life. I joined 4-H in 8th grade because I wanted to join an activity that helped me get more involved in my community. My freshman year, I started off as a secretary of junior leaders, and I was also a representative on the 4-H council. I had to learn how to balance my time between school, sports, and other extracurricular activities. Because of this, I gained time management through 4-H. My sophomore year, I was the vice president of junior leaders and the president of my 4-H club, TC Leprechauns. With these positions, I had to help lead and organize monthly club meetings. I am the 4-H ambassador as well this year. With my junior and senior years, I was the president of my club's junior leaders and TC Leprechauns. If someone would have told me 5 years ago that I'd be here giving a speech, I wouldn't have believed myself. I would have been way too scared to give a speech then. Through 4-H, I've gained leadership skills, confidence, communication skills, and community service opportunities. One of my favorite parts about 4-H is helping plan and organize all the service projects we do for our club. A few examples of service projects that I've been involved in over the years in my club as well include packaging Christmas boxes for children overseas, making Christmas cards for residents of the nursing home during the COVID-19 pandemic, organizing an Easter egg hunt for less fortunate children, painting residents' toenails at the nursing home, and doing a river sweep at Sunset Park. My favorite part about volunteering and participating in these service activities is giving back to the community. To conclude my speech, I would like to thank everyone here at the County Council for their time. I really appreciate you all listening to my speech about why 4-H is a very important organization for the youth of our community. The 4-H's of 4-H stand for Head, Heart, Hands, and Health. As our 4-H pledge states, I use my head for clear thinking, my heart for greater loyalty, my hands for larger service, and my health for better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world. These 4-H's of 4-H are vital to keeping youth and others involved with our community. Thank you.
So I think there are two great examples of 4-Hers and what 4-H does, and we have hundreds other just like them from kindergarten all the way through seniors in high school. So what does the 4-H Council need money for? Well, first of all, we want to keep it accessible and affordable to everybody. We don't ever want money to be the reason why a young person or a family can't get involved in 4-H. So through your support, we're able to keep our fees low and offer fee waivers for any families that the low fees are still too high and too much of a barrier. Throughout the pandemic, we continue to do programming, offer services to our youth. We just had to do it differently. So we had some in person. Currently, many of our clubs, including our junior leaders, are meeting outdoors so that we're in a safe location. When the weather gets bad, sometimes we're able to meet indoors if the conditions are such. Sometimes we meet remotely. Sometimes we do a combination of the two. So we have adapted to the current conditions. We offer things locally as well as throughout the state and throughout the nation. And I will say if there's any good part about a pandemic, one of the benefits is we learned how to reach out to those partners outside of our borders and do things with folks who would not normally be able to reach out to. For example, our junior leaders during the lockdown period had an exchange with a club in Northern Illinois, and they even did a painting party remotely. So they learned how that they could meet other youth, keep in touch with those youth, and share ideas and resources. So when we get to the specifics of what do we need money for, all of our 4-Hers are given manuals and books to help them with the projects that they have chosen. At fair time, which is our most visible time, we hire the judges, we give awards. During the summer, we offer 4-H camp, we offer trips for our older youth, and we have special events throughout the year. So your funding greatly helps expand what's possible to our program. And we know that you have many worthy organizations that are asking for money. We just hope you do as much as you can for us. Our ask is for $10,000, and that would be greatly appreciated.
Anyone have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you guys want to go ahead?
You're ready?
Yeah, we can skip you guys, no problem. Let's see. Page 41. Ooh. Whoops, too aggressive. Thank you.
We're here mostly to see, I know that we have turned in essentially the same budget for the last couple of years. The only thing on the health department budget I believe for you guys to look at is salaries. So mostly we're here to make sure that you guys don't have questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
I think that we do, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll let you start.
Whenever you are looking at our salaries, there's a little bit of confusion, I think. What is our base salary? I don't care if you look at mine or at Tara's or whatever. What do you show as our base salary?
For Sarah.
Oh, I guess it's just right here. 39 and 33.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, along with 2 different grants that we write, that's been available to us for the last couple of years, and that we write, and that we're lucky enough to get, our pay increases, like mine increases to 51, 52,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. Our ask on the budget is that our base salary include that. We don't ever want our salary to drop. $39,000 a year for nursing is not a sustainable income. So what we have asked for is that for mine, for the estimated 52,000, I don't have the numbers in front of me, that be my base salary.
That's also what I'm asking. My numbers are a little bit different. If I may ask a question, the numbers that we presented to you guys clearly include our grant funding as well. So when you look at the number that you pay us, please look at the lower number. And I guess my question would be, how can we prove to you that we earned and are owed that total amount just from county salary? Because I feel like we have proven ourselves, our department, over the last year and a half. So that would be my question.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to prove to you that we are worthy of a salary that is comparable to anywhere else? Brian Herwig, Billy Bryan are here.
Yeah.
I feel like we have done everything we can and that we are owed that. Erla has spent a ton of time with us.
Thank you.
We have invited
Thank you a
every one
bunch.
of you to come down with us, and the invite is still there.
There's no doubt in my mind that you all earned
Thank you.
every penny.
Yeah, I don't think there's a,
No,
I
there's no
don't think
doubt.
anyone's ever doubted that you guys are worth more.
So when you're looking at your numbers, I want you to please consider who has carried the county through a pandemic the last 18 months. And I want you to keep that in mind, please. We're not asking for a lot.
There's no doubt in my mind, and probably not in yours either, that we can easily make some more somewhere else. I don't want to go anywhere else. I don't want Tara to go anywhere else. It will tear us apart if somebody leaves. But I need your help to help me keep our staff together. We're struggling, and we need your help. That's all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sure.
Sure.
I don't know, can I make?
We're gonna call you guys up next.
No,
for-
I'm talking to
Okay.
the member of
Sure.
the Health Department Board. Brian Herwig, CEO at the hospital, but I sit on the Health Department Board, and I've worked with Sarah a couple years ago with Pam and Teresa on the budget. I know budgets are tight. I know county budgets are tight. We're going to present the EMS here in a second. I know that. They're worthy of a pay raise. They deserve a pay raise, and they're behind market. And Erla could speak from that, from her experience. And it's then you're going to lose them, and you're not going to be able to replace them. The market, the nursing market is moving very fast. We cannot keep nurses at the hospital. Nurses now are getting $75 to $100 an hour to become travelers. And so that's the pressure we face in hospitals. So I do give them a vote of confidence and ask that you take a look at that. I know that's difficult for you when you look at all of your county employees, but they're behind market. So thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Next, we will skip back to our agencies. We'll bring up Perry County Memorial Hospital. Talk about the ambulance service. That's page 25, I think.
20. Yes,
It's
no,
on
it's on 25.
25.
Hi, my name is Veronica Marin. I'm the new Chief Financial Officer with Perry County Memorial Hospital. This year we are asking for a subsidy amount of $338,974.
What was that amount?
$338,974.
Okay, I think I supplied you all with the paper.
Is that the updated paper?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, and so with that, we are looking for 2022 to have EMS runs of 2,976. We're looking for, we're expecting a total net patient revenue of 1,091,312. Our total operating expenses have increased from the original June proposal to 1,430,285, and that brings us to the operating loss of 338,974. So the big reason for the change in the operating expense is we are looking to employ a billing company, that Great Lakes Billing Company. They are a billing company for about 45 different EMS facilities or EMS companies. That's all they do. That's their specialty, so that they will be able to help realize and find that we're billing and charging for everything we possibly can, rather than possibly leaving some money on the table. So we really are expecting to be able to see and realize more revenue from that. You'll see on here we do have that we're expecting more patient revenue with this. And this is a conservative number. They weren't able to give me estimates as to how much they think we are. We know some other facilities that use them. Ascension St. Vincent uses them, and they saw a good increase from that. So we're really hoping we can. So if you'll notice on the worksheet, we've always had overhead where in the past the hospital has supplied all of the billing and coding and all the services, and we will no longer be supplying those. So that's why there's the increase to the operating expenses, is because we're basically taking it from the facility to the Great Lakes Billing Company. But again, we really hope to see the increase in revenue. There's also an increase to the salaries and wages, and again, that's also because we've done a comparative study to any of the EMS companies around us, and we are currently the lowest, and there is some concerns from our staff that they are going to be looking elsewhere for pay if we cannot bring our pay up to market standards. Any questions?
Not at this point, I guess.
So Pam, the budget request went from 256 to 3656?
When it was first submitted to us, and I have already advertised, it was advertised at the 256,974. I think this new request has been submitted since then.
Okay.
That's what they're asking now, is for the 338,974 instead.
And that it, the increase just for the billing company services, and then also the software that we have to purchase to go along with that, comes out to $82,000 a year. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Council on Aging.
All right, we appreciate y'all, and every year for the past 47 years, you all have been giving money to the Council on Aging. According to the history, it goes back to that's how they decided to start the Council on Aging. They didn't have money, and County Council came up with money. So just a little bit, I sent a letter to you all in request for our budget this year. We did ask for an additional $3,000 to bring that up to a total of $30,000 from the county, as we've expanded our services greatly in the last 2 years. We went from having 2.5 to 3 vehicles to having 5 vehicles. We have a 6th one that's been granted to us from NDOT. It'll be functional in operation in 2022, God willing, and they can find a chassis or a chip to go in it. And it's kind of a toss-up as to which one comes first. So when we look at transportation, I know Perry County Memorial can talk about this and support this, the health department, different ones. We are the county's leading transportation provider. We have solid documentation to prove that from Indiana Medicaid brokers, Southeast Trans being the largest one in the state dealing in traditional Medicaid. Aside from ambulance service, we are our county's largest non-emergency medical transportation group and the longest serving in Perry County. So we value that. We're proud of that. Clients, we have a good rapport with clients, facilities, and the community. In the time that the last 2 years, and specifically the last year, we went from carrying 1 broker, and now we carry the 4 largest brokers in the state of Indiana, being Southeast Trans, LCP Transportation, Modivcare, and WellTrans. So virtually at this point in time, anybody covered by an Indiana health plan in Perry County, they are covered for transportation services to help subsidize the expenses that we have invested in labor, fuel, insurance, the expenses that you all help us pay that the reimbursements from Medicaid just don't cover. Those individuals are covered for their services, and there's no need for them to worry about lack of access to care or transportation needs because they don't have money to make a donation or a paid fee out of pocket. The thing that sets us aside in our transportation service to Perry County is that we serve Perry County people. So the money that comes out of your budget, it goes back into your residents. We don't go to Spencer County and take their people to Evansville or to Indianapolis or wherever they might need to go. Likewise, we don't go to Hancock County and even bring those people to Perry County. Sometimes we wish we could, sometimes they do too. But we keep our money very close-knit to make sure that the people who are funding us are getting their investment returned, because we are carrying these people to Perry County providers in the county and even out of the county as specialists sometimes practice here and practice in other locations as well. At the time that I submitted the letter, we had done, let's see here, 1,715 one-way trips in 2021 alone. Our total for 2020 was 3,019 one-way trips. This evening, year-to-date, the number for 2021 alone is 2,633, so there's no doubt that we are going to go over 3,000. That's 5 vehicles. That's normally 3 to 5 drivers. I'm not afraid to get behind the wheel myself. We keep things moving. We try to take our resources and pool them together and make them spread as far as we can. We've actually just bought into a software company for route and client management to help us make sure that we are running our program as efficiently as possible. And we expect to see wonderful results from that. For most of our organization's history, we've seen a senior center in progress, and I know In 2020, when I came to the Council on Aging, the council was concerned since we had at that time closed the senior center. And there was a lot of discussion about how are those funds going to be used? Why are we continuing to invest that money in a service that's not provided? And I agreed with you all in your concern wholeheartedly. There's a need for that in Perry County. We know that. Brenda said it just a few minutes ago from William Tell Center, that people need socialization, they need congregate meals, they need fun and safe activities, they need safe spaces to gather in. I don't dispute any of that, but my commitment to the council was that we would deliver senior services, and we did, and we have. We weren't able to in 2020 because of the pandemic, but in April of this year, we did come together with the Tell City Housing Authority to make an agreement to provide senior services that would be open to anybody in Perry County, 50 or over, to come together and participate in organized activities, educational programs, resources that we can offer, such as state health insurance assistance, Medicare savings program information, health screenings, so on and so forth. We're currently closed because of the status back to red, but you know, if we can ever get COVID to hold a while, we'll reopen again. Between April and the end of August, we've had 603 visits to the senior center year to date, which is absolutely remarkable compared to the struggles historically of the Oaks Senior Center previously in Cannleton. We don't operate a Monday through Friday 8 to 4 center that Brenda referenced, but we do operate a center that's 3 to 4 days a week, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours each day. It's not really a come and go as you please type situation, but we have organized activities. We work with community partners and agencies to come in and share what they can bring to Perry County, and programs and services that are available to our residents, fun activities, educational activities, and they're still getting the resources that they need. So we've delivered a senior center. Our plans are to continue that, COVID permitting, and we just keep on doing what we do. COVID was hard on everybody. The economy's hard on everybody. We went from a year of a pandemic and gas prices being right around $2 a gallon to another year of a pandemic and they're $1 to $1.10 higher. Our need, the only change is that it's increased. Revenue has not necessarily increased. Fuel prices continue to increase, insurance needs, and there's always somebody that needs help, just to be perfectly honest. So we appreciate what you all do for us. We couldn't do what we do without the county's support. 47 years is a long time, and we'd like to see that be 48. So thank you.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions today? I just think something for the council to think about is between SERS, Lincoln Go, and Ride Solutions, and Council on Aging, we're funding 3 different organizations who do in some capacities the same thing. So I just think we need to think about that in the future. Okay, Recycling Management District.
I know they're not.
Airport Authority, no, okay. Is that it for the agencies?
I think so.
Alrighty, so we will close that public hearing. We will now conduct the first reading of the 2022 budgets.
No, you gotta get the departments next.
Yeah. Never mind.
You just did the agencies.
We will not have a public hearing yet. We will ask the department heads to come speak.
You're still in your public hearings.
So, we going down through the budget book?
Yep, so you got the letter from the
Oh,
clerk.
yes. Yes. Okay, our clerk could not be here today, but she submitted a letter and asked me to read it. In December of 2019, the clerk's office and the Perry County Council came to an agreement that resulted in converting a full-time position into part-time. Although it was involuntary that we made this change, we had the county's best interest in mind, so we agreed. However, since then, we have struggled daily to keep up with the workload in our office. Another issue we are facing is the inability to hire someone part-time. When we hired for part-time in October 2020, we had to post the job twice just to spark some interest. I believe the reason for this issue is because part-time employees have no incentive to be employed through Perry County. While not having benefits already turns heads, being underpaid is another key factor. When you add low pay and no benefits together, the job would clearly repel anyone with interest. With these factors, the turnover rate in our office is extremely high. I feel I am spending more time training employees than getting my job done. Over the past 2 years, I have lost 2 hardworking, dependable, full-time employees due to better pay, benefits, and compensation offered elsewhere. When I am continuously hiring new employees, it gives my office less credibility, and with better compensation and opportunity for growth, I feel we can lower our turnover rate of reliable employees. There's a delicate balance between what you can ask for an employee compared to what they are willing to give you. Keeping this balance is key in a workplace. With content and appreciated employees, they are willing to do their best to have a well-run office. In my closing, I am formally requesting to have my part-time position returned to full-time. I appreciate your time and consideration on this matter. If you need any other information, feel free to contact me. That is from Rachel Rourke, our clerk. Next, we have Auditor Pam Goffman.
Okay, I generally don't come on this side of the podium to you guys, but I'm here to talk to you about the changes and additions I have made to the auditor's budget for 2022. I also sent you a letter to review with all the job listings that my office does. The changes I have included in my budget will be helping my office now, but also for the years forward. I'm asking for an increase in the auditor's salary with the salaries as they are now, around $3,787. This amount is for compensation for all the extra meetings that I have to attend over and above the 2 commissioners and 1 council meetings that are scheduled each month. On an average, I have been attending 6 or more meetings a month. I feel that the increase of the salary is only right for all the extra time spent in the meetings and for all the time it's taken me away from my home and family. This will also help any auditors in the future. Also, I'm asking for my part-time deputy to be put back to full-time also. In 2020, I volunteered with the assessor to try a shared part-time employee with the assessor's office, with the understanding that if it did not work out, I would be coming back to the council asking for that position be back to full-time. I'm back. This is the 2nd year that I have tried it, and it's just not working out with the workload that my office has. Every year the workload in our office has been increasing. This full-time position would be working side by side with another employee daily, doing the tax system and all the steps following that. 2 people are needed to do these jobs to make sure they are being done efficiently and accurately. I do not have that now because of my other girls having their specific jobs to do, like with payroll and claims and all the other specific jobs. We have done our best to make this work, and in the past, there have been 2 people always on the tax system, except for in the past 3-4 years. During the pandemic last fall, I had to bring my employees back early because of the workload we had. We were not able to continue to work from home at that time. The workload that we have and the jobs we do must get done on a time schedule. I'm asking for this to be done as I feel we have given this more than ample time without a full-time employee. And then the only other thing I've done is I reduced the line item in the supplies of computer supplies to 0, which I think was $300 before, but now we're only asking to move $200 to copy paper and toner to make it as 1 item for the supplies we need instead of having 2 separate line items. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have the treasurer's office.
Okay.
Do you want to speak on that?
I can.
Okay.
Let's see here. Me and Amanda had not been able to go over this a whole lot. We had went over it some time ago. As you can see, I think we're basically doing, I think it's a 3%. I'm not quite sure on that as far as the raises and that. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. There's not a whole lot of changes between last year's and what we've got on this year's except for salaries, so. And if you have any questions or whatever, just let me know or give me a call, and I'll see if I can get a hold of her. And
Yeah, it looks like the only big change is the Lao system software.
Yeah, yeah.
So other than that.
Yeah, other than that, yeah.
Okay.
That was kind of big. I forgot that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Is there 3 people working in your office now, or just you 2?
There's three.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The recorder's office. Nope. Sheriff is not here. Surveyor, not here. Corner. Mr. Taylor. 12 and 13.
I've got a handout I want to give everybody. This just came up last night. And I haven't had a chance to submit anything on it, but I'd like for you to look at it sometime before the next hearing. And I'd like to thank Mr. Malone for last night coming out and being a guinea pig with this lift system for our new vehicle. Well, we didn't drop him, so it worked. But as far as my budget for next year goes, there's not really, I haven't really added that much to the budget. Increase of the salaries of $270 per deputy. Gas allotment, I put an extra $100 in it with this new vehicle being 4-wheel drive and a lot larger than the old van. It's going to take more gas next year because I was down 1/8 of a tank in this new vehicle the other day, and it costs $27 to put 1/8 of a tank in it. So the gas is going to be a big issue. So I did ask for a little bit extra on the gas for next year of up to $600. And then association dues. Since we put one extra deputy on last year, that increased our association dues by another $75 that we did not have in the budget. So, and then for the lift equipment for this new vehicle, we had a gentleman come down last night, and Mr. Malone showed up. I know everybody had other things going. It was a last minute scheduling to get the company to come down. The hospital gave us a striker cot last year. We can't handle it. It's about a 140-pound cot, and with this new vehicle, we're going to have some way to load it and unload it. You can unload it with this new system with one person, but still, it's going to take 2 to load somebody. Without this system, we're going to have family members or get people to try to help us. So this would save possible injuries to civilians, to my staff. So somewhere down the line, I'd like for you to think about it. Like I said, I didn't put it in the budget because it was just something that came up last night. But this company, Stryker Company, has a payment plan. They'll finance it for 3 years with no interest if we decide we can some way figure out about getting it. The rep told us there's about 500 of these systems in the state right now. A lot of the corners, a lot of the ambulance services are using them. So I'd just like for you to take a look at it, look at the information, and if you'd like to see a demonstration of it, we taped it last night when Mr. Malone got loaded and unloaded out of the system. I was impressed with the whole system. I couldn't believe it was that simple for a cot that heavy to be loaded and unloaded. So, like I say, I didn't put it in the budget, but maybe by the next hearing, maybe we can get something worked out for next year, for the next 3 years, if we can go that route. But
Do you have an estimated price on that yet?
yeah.
Do I want to hear it?
No, because I didn't want to hear it last night. It was a little over $22,000. So it figures out about $8,000 a year. That does not include the installation. They've got a company that does the installation of it, and that figured about $1,500. So I was shocked when he showed me the figure on it, but the old mounting system for the striker cot that the hospital gave us, they will allow us $1,000 to trade in on that. So it helps them because the old system will not work with the lift bars on it. So they'd have to have a whole new deck system for be mounted to the deck that we had put in, but it locks in. It won't come out on its own. It's got 2 locking points, head and the feet. When you take it out of the vehicle, it will not release, the sensors will not release the cot until all 4 wheels are touching the ground. And then it will release so you can take it wherever you need it. But I'd just like for you to take a look at it. But as far as the budget goes, everything I kept basically the same except for the salaries and the gas and the association dues. Just remember that the deputy coroners right now, they're netting $122 every 2 weeks. So that's about $2.04 an hour that they're getting paid. So, and they put in a lot of time in all kinds of weather. So I appreciate just taking a look at it, and hopefully it's worked out. Thank you. Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, Luke, and I'd already discussed this with Warren. He's got 500 in maintenance. It's a new vehicle, so that might be something we could take a look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Warren, I may have missed this last night. How long has that particular system been in operation? Well, like the old one from the hospital. What?
I don't know when the hospital actually got that cot, but when the hospital gave it to us, my understanding, that was the only cot that they had like that. They went to a newer system, which the cot itself is about $33,000 just for that cot that the hospital gave us. I mean, it's a nice cot.
Tom, if you don't mind, is that one of them that we purchased in that set? When we
No,
ordered
no,
it?
that was purchased, and it's the county owned cot that was bought a few years ago, and it is the only one, and it was different than all the other cots. The director at that time pushed to get that one, and it didn't serve the EMS well. Because like Warren said, to get it to, you have to add the $22,000 power load system. A lot of EMS systems are using those. By the time you buy the cot and you buy the power load, you've got so much more in it compared to what we have now. The cots that the ambulances have now doesn't require the power load system. They're a different brand. And they were significantly less. So this cot didn't have a trade-in value when we bought the last cots for EMS. Now all the EMS cots are the same ones. We didn't have a different one there. At one time, we had a different cot in each truck, which made it a different brand, a different, so when the county bought, it is actually the one that was bought with the CARES Act money, was bought with a cot to match the other cot that we have that doesn't require the power load system that he's asking for. So, I have to admit, it was a very smooth operating piece of equipment.
It is, and there are a lot of EMS agencies that use that system, that power cot and the power load system. I think AMR uses that, and
Several of the large city fire department rescue squads use it. The thing with the with this lift system, the new vehicle, the deck on it is 36 inches off the ground, and that's the problem with the cot. It is so heavy. It's going to take 2 people at the front just to get the wheel to get it up onto the deck system, and then it's going to take 2 people, at least 2, if not more. If you're putting somebody my size on it, it's probably going to take 3 or 4 people to pick it up to push it in. With this lift system, you can do it one-handed. And like I say, I was really amazed with how smooth it was last night. So But if you want to see in operation, we got a film on it of Mr. Malone being loaded and unloaded. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Assessor, prosecuting attorney, page 16.
Hello. As far as my budgets go, they're pretty much in line with last year's request, standard salary request increase, standard requests in our rent, 3% every year. Let's see. Prosecutor made a small request for computer software maintenance due to an increase in an antivirus protection program for 7 computers. Other than that, I think most of everything's pretty much in line with last year's requests. So.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, Jason, on your rent, did it go up for next year?
It goes up 3% every year. It's in the lease. Yeah.
I think the board knows we've been looking possibility of some other locations.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yeah, that would be nice. All right. Anyone
Thanks.
else?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
County extension. There, Kathy. Page 17.
I'm back. Wearing a different hat this time as County Extension Director. I'd like to introduce my 2 co-workers who are here with me. Megan Jasperson is our Health and Human Sciences educator, and Sarah Zamansky is our Ag and Natural Resources educator. So they'll help me out if I miss something or if you have questions specific for their departments. But I think, as you know, we do services in the 3 areas that the 3 of us represent, but we also bring in services from Purdue, and we are the coordinator of that. And the contractual services that you all pay for are based on, Sarah and I are full-time, Megan is full-time, but half of the time in Spencer County. So you pay for 2.5 educators, and you get a lot of extras that go with that, such as our community wellness coordinator and our food and natural, our FNET, our nutrition education program assistant. I get all my letters mixed up. So they are grant funded, but because you pay for contractual services, you get their services as well. And then anytime that we need a specialist from campus, we can coordinate that and bring those services to you as well. So, like 4-H, Extension has been busy and continuing to serve people throughout the pandemic. Many of our services were done remotely, but we are also available to meet with people in person as needed, and we flex that back and forth as people request that. The funding that you provide is part of the funding that comes as a total, because we also get funding from the federal government, the state government, for our extension services as a whole. Primarily what the counties are paying for is to have educators in the county. And the federal and the state help with our support system, which is equally important but less visible. They are leveraged funds, so when one gets reduced, it tends to squeeze it from the others, particularly the state and federal. So when the federal decides that they're going to flatline, the state flatlines, and vice versa. So all of the funding is very, very critical. And likewise, if the counties decide they're going to cut back, that has an effect on the overall budget. So we appreciate the support that you've given us throughout the years and hope that that can continue. Just kind of hit some of the highlights in our budget request. Our personnel is the most important. Without people, we can't do anything. And so our priorities are contractual services, our clerical support, which we only have 1 person. She's vital to what we do. And then we were very appreciative that you funded our summer intern position. And that makes a huge difference in what we're able to do, particularly in the summer in our very, very busy time. The other side bonus of that, though, is it gives a local youth employment and keeps them engaged in what's going on in the community. We've been fortunate the last 2 years when you funded that, we've had excellent summer interns. So those are our biggest priorities. Of course, we do need operating costs, and we try to keep those as flat as we possibly can. Our travel has been less than what you allocated to us, and so we don't spend what we don't need. But that being said, we hope that you don't cut it, because we really hope this pandemic's going to be over soon, and we're going to be back out doing more in person. And some of it will be like delayed trainings for us to travel to that we've not been able to go to. We have had a lot of virtual trainings, but there are some trainings that we're not able to get because they require us to be in person and doing hands-on. So when you look at our travel line, it's really low. And one of the changes that happened this year is Purdue we would turn in our mileage claims, they would process it, they would give the county a bill. Now they got out of the middle person role, so we're able to combine those two line items into one. So for 2022, we're just asking for a travel line, and whether we take a county vehicle or we're driving a personal car and claiming mileage, it'll all come out of the same line. And we're doing our very best to be able to use county vehicles whenever we can. Sometimes the three of us go in different directions, so it's not always possible, but we're trying to do that, and we know that helps everybody out. Computer lease, that is a contracted amount, and that not only gives us regular updates in the hardware, but it also gives us the support. So you won't ever see a bill that says, something broke down and we need that. Those kind of things come out of this line item, so you pay one price for anything that we need. They're very good about upgrading our laptops, and we all have laptops now, and those are upgraded every 3 years. So that's it in a nutshell, but I would be happy to answer any questions that you have about the particulars or about the services that we offer.
Anyone have any questions? Is Mr. DeBoer officially retired?
Well, I've heard that he's retired, but I also know that he does the capital comments.
Okay, because I saw that and I was wondering if he's actually retiring or not. So I do like his work a lot.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
So if you don't subscribe to capital comments, I would encourage. They're entertaining. Who knew that finances could be entertaining? But
He writes it in a special way.
Yeah, he does.
Anyone have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next is Veteran Service Officer, County Council, no raises for the 3rd year. County Election Board, Commissioners, does anyone have any questions for Tom while he's here on that? Okay.
Did Tom have anything?
Do you have anything you want to
I
elaborate on?
mean, we're like the council, no raises in our salaries, but everything else pretty much the same as what we're.
Okay. Animal shelter, planning and zoning. I do want to talk about planning and zoning really quickly. You'll notice the per diem has increased from $600 to $1,000, and that's because we're trying to. The planning and zoning department has been lacking, I guess is the correct word to use. So the new plan commission's trying to meet a lot more to get things where they should be. So that would require an increase in the per diem. And then the other thing would be new zoning maps for $1,000. Like Lisa said, the zoning map hasn't been updated since like 2005, I think she said, which is a big deal. So we probably need to get that updated. That's all on planning and zoning. Next budget is the courthouse budget. Teresa or Pam, do you have anything for that? Okay. Circuit Court, emergency management, There is one thing I want to point out in there. The coordinator 911 salary and the part-time data entry salary, those were originally being taken out of the statewide 911 fund. State Board of Accounts said you should really be tracking those hours of what they're doing, or setting a certain ratio of what responsibilities they're doing, which we have never done. So just to alleviate that issue, we just assume all in the EMA budget. Jail, 40 child support. I guess instead of just going through all these, I'll just go to the people who are here.
Yeah.
Steve. All your budgets you want to talk about. You can pick your favorite. He's the last one, yeah.
We went through this quite a bit this year. We've cut travel from 500 to 250, hardware and tools from 5,000 to 4,000. This is in the motor vehicle highway fund.
Okay.
Steel from 500 to 300. Concrete, we cut it completely out. It was 1,000. We cut it to 0. Salt, we went from 23,000 to 20,000. Equipment rental, 4,000 to 3,000. Office supplies, 800 to 300. Gas, we cut it out of this budget from 140,000 to 90,000, but we're putting 50,000 in the restricted for gas. And down 500 to 0 in guardrail, 20,000 to 18,000 in utilities. We've washed all of our utilities really close. We think we can get by with 18,000. Vehicle repair from 18 to 15,000. Computer software went up from 1,500 to 1,700, which is overall that's a savings of 5,250 over last year's. Then our lease is paid off this year, the 75,135. And sewer and wheel budget, we went from 50,000 to 150,000 in that. In bituminous, we're going to use 120,000 for community crossings, 30,000 for our patching oil. Hume Bridge, we went up in steel from 20 to 30,000 because the increase in the steel beams have went up quite a bit since last year, and we got a pretty good sized bridge we're going to try to replace next year, bigger than what we had been doing. 20 to 30,000 in concrete because it's going to take more of that. Local road and street from 100,000 to 30,000, and then we've got the lease we had in there on the graders paid off. I think that's about it. On raises, I put in for 5% for everyone. We have the money in our budget for that. We had one operator that quit this summer. I haven't replaced him. I don't know if we're going to or not. We're trying to get by without that person if we can. It's hurt us some on some things, but we're trying to save everywhere we can. And NDOT didn't help any when they come up with the $20 an hour starting out for truck drivers, when ours is making 16 something.
Yeah, that's a common thing we're facing.
Yeah. But that's about all I had, unless you got some questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
Steve, thank you for everything.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Alrighty, since there are no other departments here.
Can I just make one comment? I'm not gonna walk back down there.
Sure.
In Plat Book Fund, which I forgot to mention that one, just wanted to let you know that I did put the extra increase for my girls that everybody else was making. I want to take that out of the Plat Book Fund. I think it more satisfies to what they're doing as far as the GIS and the mapping, which was also being taken out of the state 911, but I am now able to have the funding in that fund to support that wage, which I did not have before. And with their mapping, and because of our increase that we've done with our mapping and maps that we charge and stuff. So I like to have that taken out of the Plat Book Fund.
And your LAO system in your auditor's budget?
And my LAO system in the auditor's budget, yes, that we definitely, I got in there. We definitely, us in the treasurer's office, as far as with our financial and our tax system, we are way outdated. We have had this same system since 1989, and it's just to the point that there is no room for improvement on it.
You say 1989?
1989, yes. I've been here that long. And
And
longer. I was here longer than that.
It was just a gleam in your eye, wasn't it?
But, yes, I mean, we've had the same system.
That's insane.
I can't say that I have any problems with either one, but there's no room for advancement in them at this point. We are still doing a lot of things by hand that I'd like to, before I leave office, that need to be done more timely and differently. I've got young girls that want to see changes, but with the system we got, it's not capable of doing it at this point. And I think with our financial and our tax system, it's something way overdue.
I agree.
That we need to make some improvements for the county to move forward on it. So,
And it's cheaper software maintenance.
yes, it is. A lot cheaper software maintenance.
So, okay.
Yep.
The only other thing that I want to point out is on page 80, the lit PSAP 911 dispatch fund. That is brand new. That is pending our action in the coming months. What would happen with that fund? So that's the only other thing.
Are we gonna be able to figure out budgets, not knowing what that is going to be?
I don't know. That's something we're gonna have to.
You're the boss.
I don't know. We'll work through that as we can. So, but that is a good question. So I will now close the public hearing, which I closed earlier, but I didn't
Yes, you
close.
did, but I had to have
Okay.
yours.
I said we were gonna be done by 6:30 and it's 6:40. So
Oh.
I'm gonna speed read through all these.
Okay.
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 Here we go. This is the first reading of the 2022 budget request. Clerk's office, $199,985. Auditor's office, $289,522. Treasurer's office, $203,186. Recorder's office, $103,116. Sheriff, $600,979. Surveyor, $9,898. Coroner's office, $39,800. Assessor's office, $125,533. Prosecuting attorney, $73,466. Perry County Extension, $137,990. Veterans Service, $33,002. Council, $39,921. Election Board, $75,760. Commissioner's budget, $2,389,904. Animal Shelter, $35,000. Planning and zoning, $13,689. Courthouse, $135,700. Circuit Court, $614,201. EMA, $142,063. Jail, $530,084. 4D Child Support, $106,903. Soil Conservation, $40,144. Parks and Rec, this always confuses me, $157,461.
Good job.
And for the general fund total of $6,097,307.
Yes.
I looked at the other line. Okay, that's general fund.
Yes.
Health Fund, $298,161. Cume Bridge Fund, $326,700. Reassessment, $126,683.
Oh, skip that one.
Wait, what's that? What?
Oh, we'll tell you about that at budget day.
Okay.
Go on.
It's just a bunch of zeros.
I was so
Yeah,
confused.
don't worry about it. We had to change the fund number, so we'll
So you
explain
messed
that.
up.
No, we did not mess up. The state said we had to change numbers,
Okay.
so we had to do it two different ways.
207,
I'll
sorry.
explain that later.
Cume Cap Development, $217,422. Local Income Tax Detention Center, $940,000. Clerk's Record Perpetuation, $3,900. Sales Disclosure, $500. Emergency Planning, $3,767. Enhanced Access, $26,938. Identification security protection, $2,700. Local road and street, $330,000. Local income tax sheriff, $184,618. Local income tax commissioners, $401,287. Local income tax jail, $826,000.
No.
That's what's up.
No, ma'am. Jail, $240,268 for a total of local income tax of $826,173.
Okay, I see it.
Okay, see why, that's why I'm here.
Dave was better at this. Motor vehicle highway restricted administration, $79,797. Motor vehicle highway restricted maintenance and repair, $546,910. Motor vehicle highway restricted general and undistributed, $385,392 for a total motor vehicle highway restricted of $1,012,099. Motor vehicle highway administration, $100,038. Motor vehicle highway maintenance and repair, $288,135. Motor vehicle highway general and undistributed, continued. $663,836 for a grand total of $1,052,009. Has that restricted and unrestricted, do you see any benefit of that? Steve, have you?
A lot of headaches.
Is it just a headache?
It's a headache and a half.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah, it's a lot of headache.
Okay, sorry. Plat book, auditor, $17,168. Riverboat commissioners, $3,400. Riverboat courthouse, $23,000. No. See, $20,000 for a grand total riverboat of $23,400.
Yeah.
Sex and violent offenders, $1,400. Supplemental public defender, $3,650. Survey corner, that's a new one. Corner perpetuation, $5,000. County elected official, is this the training clerk, $800. Auditor, $800. Treasurer, $800. Recorder, $800. Surveyor, $800 for a total of county elected official training of $4,000. Statewide 911, $283,000. Lit PSAP 911 dispatch, $200,000. SAPS, $75,070. Jury fee, $3,000. Pretrial diversion, $70,049. Surplus, surtax and wheel, $350,000. No. Is that right?
Yeah.
$350,000?
Yeah.
Okay. Jail operations, $263,891. Inmate housing, $59,527.
That was for the sheriff.
For the sheriff. Inmate housing jail, $21,000 for a total inmate housing of $80,527. Perry County recycling. Oh my gosh. Grand total budget of $528,130. Airport Authority, grand total of $332,083.
Okay, but you got two departments there.
Oh, do I need to do
You got the
separate?
Airport
Okay.
Authority, yeah.
Airport Authority is $50,370, and CUME Airport Building Fund of $281,713, for a total Airport Authority of $332,083.
Just want to make sure we got that right.
And it's the first reading of the 2022 requested budgets.
Yes, it is.
We will have all-day budget workshops on September 28th, 29th, and 30th at the depot at 8 a.m. That is a new location. Hopefully, it'll only take 2 days, but
Yes, and
I'm
to
concerned
let you know, the ones that I told you that you needed to be there by 6:30 to 7:15.
6:30?
I'm sorry, I changed that a half an hour on you, but you don't have to be now, Luke.
Okay.
So you can be there at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Why did you get up early?
Why'd that change?
But Pam,
Because-
help on Monday?
Well, no, I think we can get it. If we do, we'll give you a call, because the meeting that was gonna go happen on Monday night has been canceled.
Oh, good.
So they are letting us set up Monday
Monday night.
instead. So, yeah, I moved it up. I was gonna inform you, you had to be there at 6:30 instead of
I
7.
wouldn't have showed up. All right, I will be bringing donuts to the first day.
Drinks, Pam's Dr. Pepper.
You can get the second day as the vice president.
I hope Erla brings her nuts.
And Erla, are you gonna bring us any goodies?
I'll bring some.
There was some sweet stuff besides the nuts.
The pretzels.
Yeah, the pretzels.
Well, everybody that was there last year knows.
Or treats.
Okay, and then the last thing, we have a regular council meeting on Thursday, September 23rd at 5 p.m. That is our public hearing on the proposed local income tax change. Hopefully that's done by 5:30 for our regular council meeting. So that is we have a very busy September. With that being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I got a motion by
Second.
Paul, second by Danny. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Teresa, what?
Remind the public about the survey.
Oh my gosh, can we
Yes, just.
Okay, the Perry County Council American Rescue Plan Advisory Committee has put out a survey, an investment priority survey. We encourage you all to take that survey to inform the committee your desires of how you want to see that money spent. We are getting over $3.7 million. We already have 1.8 of that in our fund right now. But we are having the survey until September 29th on the 30th at 4 o'clock. Well, from 4 to 6 on the 30th of September. We're having listening sessions if you want to come and talk to us
In here.
in the commissioners' meeting room.
Yes.
So please take that survey. It is very important that we understand your priorities and your needs. Thank you. Okay, we are adjourned.
Yes, we are.
Thank you for that reminder, Teresa. That was so hectic. I hated
I'm telling you,
that.
Julie, I feel like I got another one. I'm just adding to my list.
You're doing a fine job.
Well, it's like, because I want to make sure we get the reading right, so I was kind of